How's it going, peeps? Welcome back to my channel. I didn't actually wasn't planning on doing this video, but I think Mesut Ozil is a guy that divides opinion. Like the T-shirt says, we've got Ozil, Mesut Ozil. Just don't think you understand. Um, so I think it is time now that we need to have this pod, and it's the reason why I've actually got a few of my Ghana brothers with on me. So I'll bring my first one in. Big Sudz, how you doing, G?
Hey, good thanks, and you, Dev. Thanks for having me on the show. It's my first time. Um, I apologize because I know there were previous occasions where you wanted me on the show, but because of work commitments, family commitments, I couldn't make it. But yeah, I'm delighted to be here, bro. Thanks so much for having me.
Nah, it's awesome to have you on, man. I understand you have commitments and work and family life, whatever. So I appreciate the time that you're giving me tonight. So yeah, just give me your take on the game. Let's start with the Europa League game. Not too sure how much you saw of it. We won 2-1, but obviously now with Leno making that error, I have to ask. Do you think Emi Martinez has showed us some of Leno's weaknesses?
I don't think so, Dev. I mean, like honestly, I was quite gutted when Martinez left. I mean, a lot of the guys in the group are saying, "Yeah, but we got 20 million for him, and if he left on a free, sorry, I mean, if we sold him, at an earlier stage, we might have not got that much or whatever, But I just think that Martinez seems a lot more assured. I mean, I think he's a big he's a big guy like Leno. Leno is also quite tall. Martinez is tall as well, but. The thing I like about Emmy is that he actually goes to the ball and tries to catch it now. And, one of the things I hate about Leno is that he's got this bad habit of palming the ball, and more often than not, he's hitting it into the opposition players.
Spot on.
Yeah, into their
Into the danger area.
division. Yeah, and then, I mean, we saw what happened to Liverpool. I mean, it was a tap in for Mane. He made a decent save. I think it was Salah who hit it, but it ricocheted off his gloves, and it was a tap in for Mane, And I think something similar happened the other day in another game. Was it the City game?
City.
That
City palmed it straight into Sterling's spot.
Sterling's part, yeah, exactly the same thing. So that, I mean, that's 2 goals. Yet if he caught it, I mean, then it's done and dusted. I don't think. Look, I mean, it's very easy to speak in hindsight and talk about ifs, buts, and maybes. But I think that look, if those shots are going to Emmy, I think Emmy is catching those.
100%.
Yeah, and I also think that Emmy seemed a lot more composed with having the ball at his feet and playing out from the back. I mean, we saw what Leno did today. I mean, that first goal was all on him. I mean, you can't blame anybody else. That was all on him. But yeah, look, Leno is generally he's a very, very good keeper, but I don't know what got into him today. Maybe he just had an off day. I'm not going to slate the man because Dev, you know how many times he's single-handedly saved us from tremendous embarrassment, bro. I mean,
exactly.
There were games that we lost maybe 1-0 or so, but it could have been like 5 or 6 if it wasn't for him. So I'm not going to get on the guy's back and slate him or anything like that because he's given us. I mean, he saved us countless times. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just hoping today was just a once-off for him. Maybe he had a bad day. Yeah, a bad day.
Yeah, no.
That's all I'm going to put it down to,
I'm with you on that one, my guy. I'm with you on that one. We'll dissect it as we go on, but I think you couldn't have summed it up any better. Let me bring my next guy, my next debutant that's making his debut as well tonight, Mr. Ashraf. If we can see him, if we can put on his camera. How's it, G? Are you up? Are you here with us?
Hey, how's it, man?
How's it going, brother? You good? Are you here with us? Can you see us? Can you hear me? Am I lagging? Am I not lagging?
No, my side, everything is good. You can hear me loud and clear.
Okay, good. Well, welcome to the DVD podcast. Thank you for making the time to come on here and have this chat. I know you didn't see the game, and I know how you feel about the Europa. What I wanted to ask you is, in actual fact, do you think that this year we can actually have a chance? I know, obviously, you have the dropouts coming in, and that's where it gets really interesting. But I mean, we've added to our squad, and we know obviously Arteta still needs to find his team and his formation, that type of thing tonight to play the 4-4-2. But Ashraf, I want to ask you, do you think that honestly this year we can give it a proper go at it?
Yeah, my thing is, personally, I think we should actually go all out for the Europa League. With the squad that
Sudz,
we
am I
have,
lagging?
No. You're fine, man. Sorry, I'm just gonna try and go closer to my modem. But yeah, you guys carry on, man. Sorry.
Can you hear me, Dave?
Okay. Carry on, Ashraf. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, with the squad that we have, and if you look at our European,
I can hear you loud and clear, brother.
if you look at our European coefficient, we're the highest ranked team in the competition. I think the rule of teams.
Go ahead,
coming
bro.
from-
I'm waiting.
I think. Can you hear me, Dave?
I can hear you perfectly fine, Ashraf. I don't know whether there's a lag on Dev's side.
Hey, Dave.
Dev, can you hear us?
Yeah, me and Sudz can hear each other perfectly.
Yeah. Dev is frozen.
I think there's probably something happening his side.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I mean, as I was saying, I think we should actually give it a good shot, a decent shot, because we've got the squad, we've got the depth as well.
Wait, Ashraf, were you surprised that that Arteta actually fielded quite a strong team today? I mean, I was quite surprised. I thought he's gonna play all the lighties and let them, get some game time. But when I saw there were quite a few first teamers.
From what I saw, yeah. Because I got to see the second half, and I was playing action cricket, unfortunately, and then I got to see most of the second half. So, I saw all of the players involved. I think was probably just wanted to get off to a decent start, man. Get the ball rolling and just gather that momentum. I think further along as the competition goes on, and as we're gonna start playing, when the competitions come thick and fast, they might give the other guys a good run out. The Nelsons, the Warlocks. I would love to see Saliba playing in the Europa League. I don't think he's registered that way. That is what the Europa League group stages is for. But I think most probably we'll be saving that for when we're actually also playing home, probably. You know what I mean? So I think you just want.
Yeah, sorry, you're saying? Finish?
I just think it was all about momentum.
100%.
Getting off to a winning start. Also, we have I believe a tough fixture, although Leicester are a bit up and down recently. But I mean, Leicester's going to give us a go on Saturday or Sunday. Another thing that irked me as well was the way we played against Man City. We were timid, we were respectful. I mean, I watched 60 minutes of Porto versus Man City. You're talking about a team that's coming out of the Portuguese league, coming to City's home ground. I mean, they didn't show, I won't say they didn't show respect, but I mean, they came out, you know what I mean? They came out like you could see they wanted to win this game.
Exactly.
With us on Saturday, not once did I feel that we actually
were gonna score.
have that urgency. There was no urgency. You know what I mean? I mean, there was chances. We could have taken the game. I mean, what better chance do you have? Kun Aguero came back 6 months out. You have a fragile, timid defense. You have Sterling that came back from a groin. You have Kevin De Bruyne not playing. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne has been out tormented I mean, that should already inspire the guys when they saw that match sheet. Kevin De Bruyne is not playing. We're going all out. You have freaking Cancelo, Rodri, guys like that. You know what I mean? Ruben Diaz. I mean, we should have gone out, bro. Even if I know in the past we've taken hammerings and that, but I don't believe with the confidence and the shape in it that Oteta had, if we went out with a bit more of attacking flair, a bit more energy, we could have put. I honestly feel we had that game on Saturday.
I also think so. I agree with you. Actually, I agree 100% on what you said. We showed them too much respect, really, and like you said, they were there for the taking. So
Correct.
I don't know. I don't know when we're gonna get it away from home. Hopefully, we'll get it at United. But yeah, Fabo.
What's
How's
happening, boys?
things?
What's
I see you were
Fabo.
happening?
waiting. You were waiting on the line there for 10 minutes, itching to get on like a Thomas Sport. Eh? I was waiting to bring you on with 8 minutes left to go. The spot goes, but I thought, no, I love you too much. How's things?
Always blessed, boys. Always blessed.
Always bless you. Good, you good, you good.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know what to say about the game, though.
Look,
I'm not happy. I'm sorry. I have
you're
to
not
be
happy with
honest.
the game?
Nah, I'm not, unfortunately. Look, this isn't exactly what you call a team that's top tier. We actually had to grind out our victory. I mean, this is a team that not many people is aware of. Like literally, these people played like they deserve to win. People never ever said that the mighty Arsenal struggled so badly against this team. We were nowhere in that first half. We lacked
True.
creativity. I didn't know what exactly was going on there. We had a non-existent midfield, but the only glimpse of hope that we really saw this whole entire thing is how valuable Party actually is, what a great signing he is. The
Mm,
interceptions, the
Agreed.
passes he's making. Yo, can't believe the amazing balls he kept on passing forward. That's for me one of the biggest things between him and Xhaka. Had it been Xhaka, we know 9 times out of 10, Xhaka would have turned his back to go and pass it back again. Pass it back again. Party, complete opposite. The minute he had that ball, he can see Pepe or Laka running. He's just gonna put it there for you first time. So yeah, I don't know what to say. This team, if we're gonna play like this, the big boys are going to thrash us.
Mm.
They do not give you
yeah,
second chances.
true. I don't think anyone can disagree with anything you guys are saying. It's for once, it's weird the fact that I'm actually nodding and disagreeing with everything you guys are saying because I can pick out points of each one of you guys, what you guys have brought up, and I can't disagree with any of it. But
Yeah.
let's get on to the real topic as to why we're here. Yes, we got the result. That's fine. I'm sure we will qualify from the Europa
Mm.
League. But Suds, I'll
Oh,
start with you.
Dev.
Yebo.
Sorry, man. Just before we move on to the main topic, I just want to do something that I feel also because I honestly feel if you look at our attacking and that Saka should play in the front three, I honestly feel he's being wasted on a left wing back. He from the past few games, he's been our most creative player. He's shown the most urgency. He's shown the most energy. So I mean, a front three that's lacking a bit for me. I just feel he should actually be given that role to play on in the left on attack. I don't know how you guys
Suds,
feel about that.
Suds, go ahead. I think I know what you're gonna say. Suds, go ahead.
For what Ashraf's comment about Saka,
In the front three.
front three. We were discussing it on WhatsApp, Dev. I personally feel that Ova should play up front.
Definitely.
And
And I would go. I like Pepe. You know, he's come for a lot of stick from a lot of fans. There are people who are branding him a flop, which I don't agree with. You can see his quality. I'd probably go Pepe left, and then I'd go Willian on the right. You know, and then look, Saka, when he's at left back, the thing is, left wing back, he also still drives forward, so he gets involved in the attacks. You know. And I think defensively he can also do a lot. You know, he does a lot as well defensively. So you know, I hear what Ashraf's saying. and I respect your opinion, Ashraf, but I just feel that also, he can do a lot more. He can offer a lot more to the team at left wing back. That's just my personal.
And if we
opinion.
change formation to a 4-4-2,
yeah, then there's an option. If we change formation, then there's an option for him to go on the left. Yeah.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, look, I honestly, has any one of us been impressed with Willian this season? Taking the Fulham game out.
One good game.
One good game.
Only after that opening game against Fulham, we haven't really seen anything else from him. That's my personal opinion. Oba went 4 games without scoring, and only today he scored by a tap-in. So it's a bit alarming. I mean, someone of Oba's caliber not scoring for 4 games. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like Costa said, Ashraf, he's been wasted out wide, and I've been saying the same thing as well. Stop playing him out wide. He is not at all being used well. I mean, also like the other end of the last season as well. He again played out wide. It's only against City and Chelsea where he actually really just performed. But other than that, again, the same thing happened where he wasn't fully used. We didn't get the best out of Oba. And people forget that because he just scored, I think he scored 3 goals between Chelsea and City. But he was wasted all the other times.
Yeah. Especially against the big teams, he does nothing on the left. We get away with it against smaller teams. Okay, the exception was the FA Cup final and the semi-final. But look at his record against the big teams. Out wide. It's non-existent. Bro, I have to scratch. I can't remember when Oba scored against the big 6. Probably Spurs.
Spurs, yes.
Yeah, I remember last season, he scored at Old Trafford away.
Yeah, he scored against
offside goal.
Against United, yeah.
Offside goal.
Yeah.
But I mean, against the big teams, Oba's took time, but I don't feel that beast isn't against the big teams, man.
Especially a player of his quality, I will agree with you on that sense. But let's jump on to the real topic of this. So I'll come to you, Sudz. I'll start with you first. We didn't really get a chance to chat this morning. Fabo's been me and Fabo have been very, to be honest, me and Fabo don't disagree on anything, but when it comes to Ozil, we politely disagree on this and we leave it as that. So let's start like this. Let me put it out like this. Mesut Ozil signs for Arsenal. We all we are happy, we are buzzing, and given granted at the time, it is a big signing for us. I will admit I was gassed. We were all gassed at the time. He came there. We won a trophy drought. We won the trophy, won the FA Cup. I think the next year, we won another FA Cup. Mesut Ozil, Sanchez, Cazorla. We had no problem with creativity at that time. Fast forward a couple of years from now, I wouldn't even, if you had told me back then I would be stressing about creativity, I would have said, fuck no. No way, it's not going to happen. I've got too much creativity in my side.
Yeah.
Then comes to 2016. And before anyone says I have an Ozil agenda, look at the shirt.
Nice, Jeff. Nice.
That's the year that I still feel we should have won the league. It's not every day you beat the champions home and away. So let me go on record on saying that I think we failed Mesut Ozil that year in the sense that he got 19 assists?
19 assists.
19.
Assists. And we didn't sign what needed was around him as a clinical striker. I still feel Giroud has blood on his hands. Let's fast forward to a time when Alexis Sanchez left to Man United. And it was I think all 4 of us, we were all in contact with each other at the time. There was a point where you're either going to give 350k to one of the two. You're either going to give it to Sanchez, you're either going to give it to Ozil. Hindsight looking now, we might have said, okay, you might have given 350 to Sanchez, 200 to Ozil. Okay. Didn't happen. We gave the 350 to Ozil. since then he's dropped off, and obviously we're coming now to the point that we are at now. So what have you made of this whole debacle? Because before lockdown, he played what, 10, 11 games. He even got the last assist when there was fans in the stadium. What have you
The last
made?
guy was also
And how do you feel? In which corner are you? Do you think Ozil has been let down by the club, or has Ozil let down Arteta and his teammates in that sense?
Well, look, dude. As soon as Arteta came in, he said at the press conferences, he was quite complimentary of Ozil. He praised him and said, he's a quality player, and he sees him in his vision for the Arsenal that he wants to build, and what have you. And I think for those 10, 11 games, whilst Ozil wasn't scintillating, I still think that he played well. He was contributing, and he looked like he was enjoying his football again. That's just my perception of seeing things, right? And then, after the lockdown is lifted and we start the season again, he's completely alienated from the squad, And personally speaking, you can see that it's definitely some sort of agenda that's behind the scenes, I don't buy this bullshit that, no, he's not fit or he's not giving 100% in training, because the other day, Mertesacker came out and said that his exclusion from the squad has got nothing to do with his personal fitness or his commitment in training. Now, you can read between the lines, you can see. I personally feel that his exclusion is purely because of the pay cut. He's the top earner at Arsenal. I'm not too sure what the club wanted, what percentage of his salary they actually wanted to knock off, whether they wanted him to take a 50% pay cut or what have you. Look, we're not privy to those details, right? But I think his refusal to do so must have pissed the club up. Pissed the club off totally. Well, the owners and the board, And, then Ornstein comes out. I don't think David Ornstein wrote the article, but it was from the same publication that he works for, The Athletic.
The Athletic, yeah.
Yeah, they came out with an article saying that the motivation for excluding Ozil from the squad is that in terms of his contract, there's various sub-clauses there where he gets incentives. If he makes X amount of appearances a season, or if he plays a certain amount of times, the club must now pay him. We all read that now he got paid an £8 million loyalty bonus because he's going into the final 6 months of his contract and he's still an Arsenal player. So from what I read, the club are saving plus minus 100k a week by not playing him. And you might just say it's 100k, but look, 100k times that by 10 weeks, that's £1 million, so that's a lot of money. So look, I definitely think it's a decision that's come from the Cronkies and the board, and Arteta's hands are tied. And obviously he's going to say in the press conferences that, yes, I've excluded Ozil for footballing reasons, but I don't buy that at all. Why do you play a guy 10, 11 games in a row? You praising him at the press conferences and saying how integral he is to your vision of this Arsenal team. Then as soon as the lockdown lifts, you just completely excluding him from the squad.
He doesn't even make the bench.
Yeah, he doesn't even make the bench. And personally, I'm a huge Ozil fan. Faba's a huge Ozil fan. So maybe there's a bit of bias on my side and Faba's side, right? But look, I'm not trying to say that Ozil needs to start. He should be in the squad and he should be starting every game. But what I'm trying to say is that, a man of his talents and his ability, he should at the very least be on the bench, Dev. Are you
I will agree with you on that one.
Are Arsenal fans seriously going to tell me that people like El Neni, Reece Nelson, Willock, Nketiah,
I will agree with you there.
Are you honestly going to tell me that those guys are better footballers than Mesut Ozil? Come on. If you're going to say that to me with a straight face, then there's something fucking wrong with you. Seriously.
Thank you.
But, and fine, he's 32. He might not have the stamina to last a full 90 minutes. But there's going to be occasions where a West Brom is going to come to the Emirates. They're going to put 10 guys behind the
And the ball.
And we're going to try all sorts of shit, and we're not going to be able to break them down. It's going to go into the 85th minute. It's 0-0. And then all you need from Ozil is the guy who can put one pass that can unlock that defense, And sometimes that one pass is the difference between winning the game and drawing it, So, I still think that there's room for a man of his abilities and his talents, So look, that's just my personal opinion, but you guys know I'm a huge Ozil fan. So as I said, maybe there's a bit of bias on my side, but just looking at things objectively, Dev, I need to set the record straight, right? When Ozil signed the new contract, right, I was happy that he was staying, but when I saw what the club were going to pay him, I wasn't happy with that, bro. 350k is a huge stretch, if you look at the earners in the Premier League, he earns more than De Bruyne, he earns more than I think he was earning more than Hazard as well when Hazard was at Chelsea.
He earns more than Van Dijk currently now at this moment in time as well.
Yeah, so there's a lot of debate from the guys who hate Ozil. They say, but look, De Bruyne is a far superior number 10 to Ozil. There's people who say that, but he earns half of what Ozil earns, or 3/4 of what Ozil earns. So look, I wasn't happy with what the club were going to pay me, and apparently also Wenger was very hesitant to sign off on that deal.
To sign off on that deal, I remember at the time,
Yeah, so I would think at most they should have offered him about 200k. To jump from 140k a week to 350k, that's a huge jump. That's more than double your wages now,
But it's desperation also.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry to break you up, but I don't think we can blame him for the amount of money it's on. If somebody puts 350,000 in front of you, not one of us is going to say no to that.
No, exactly. But my point is that it's kind of hypocritical for the club to say, well, you know what, we don't want to play this guy because we're paying him so much money. But the truth is, you offered him the money. Exactly. You gave him the contract to sign. So, so it's completely nonsensical because, you've said, as you just quite rightly said, Dave, if someone offers you 350k a week, you're not going to think twice. You're going to sign it, without thinking twice.
Open arms.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think, Sudz, another point that really resonated with me now, also what you said is, one of the things in his statement was when he said loyalty isn't reciprocated. So for me, the thing is, you put him in all your kit launches for the season. When we launched the home kit, he was in there. When it was the away kit, I think I'm not too sure if he was involved. I think Bellerin was in the away kit launch, but I know for a fact in the third kit launch he was involved. So you're making money off his marketing, but also you're not giving him whatever. You're not playing open cards, if I could put it in that sense. So exactly. I get where you're coming from, Sudz. 100%. I 100% get where you're coming from. I really feel that he should at least be on the bench. But we'll dissect it all. I'm just trying to rush it a bit because I don't want to lose you, Sudz, because I'm really interested to hear your opinion, actually.
Okay, no stress. Yeah.
Ashraf, sorry, Fabo, don't worry. I know you've been out on the lines, but don't worry. I'll give you a solid chance. Ashraf, how do you feel about the whole issue?
For me at the moment now, I think it's being drawn out. There's a lot of sentiment and stuff involved. Peru, I loved Ozil. When he signed for us from Madrid, that was massive. That was just out of nowhere. I remember the Sunday we beat Spurs 1-0. And in the Monday we signed Ozil. I think we were top of the log after the first 6 games. So, life was good. But the thing is, the time when Ozil signed for us, we had an awesome midfield. Like in terms of, we still had players like Rosicki there, Cazorla. They were complementing Ozil well. I mean, to the latter stages of Wenger's reign and Emery. I mean, you have this brilliant player, but you don't have. We didn't have the guys
Players
to
built around you.
basically complement him. Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about the front guys, we had Danny Welbeck, Giroud. I mean, they did their thing, but I mean, they never. I mean, Ozil could have probably had 40 assists if Aubameyang was playing in front that time.
Exactly.
You know, you know what I mean. In the midfield, when Xhaka came after the World Cup, we had this high hopes. He'll be able to tee up the midfield and we'll be able to accommodate Ozil. I think we've actually got in Thomas Partey, we've finally actually got a player. If Ozil was in his prime to complement the man, you know what I mean. So yeah, I think a lot of Ozil's the fact that he's now being frozen out, and that has got a lot to do with off the pitch antics. Another thing that I read up, I'm not sure I'm speaking under correction, is also when he commented about when he got involved with the China political
Yes.
Muslim thing. I think, and now China is not broadcasting Arsenal games apparently. So, and that is a market that's obviously, I mean, we know what can happen if we tap into that market. So a lot of the things got to do with that. So like now, when it comes, Ozil is basically playing the only playing that he's doing is on social media. You know what I mean? So it's heartstrings. It's the statement that is put out there. If you look at the squad that I was thinking when I look over the past 6 months, when I saw the 25-player squad, what the other guys, the work that they've put in, and that would you actually drop out of the 25-player squad? Is my main question, because a lot of the style that Arteta wants to play and the faith that he's put in some of the guys, a lot of them have shown glimpses. And if you're looking forward, if we're now looking forward longer term, and that, I mean, Ozil is in the last year of his contract, and that clearly is not going to sign a new contract. So, I mean, do we go? We just have to go on with these guys. I mean, honestly, we can go around, but I don't actually feel anybody deserves to be dropped out of the 25-man squad to make a room for him. Based on, I'm not speaking about the past. I'm speaking about the past 6 months and going forward.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? So I'm finding it hard. I would rather than have a Nelson and a Warlock in the squad. I mean, Ceballos, we took him back on loan. I mean, it would be ludicrous. We can't drop him. For some reason, we will never drop Xhaka. Thomas Partey. The one player we could have actually maneuvered, it around would have been El Neni if we managed to find him a suitor or a buyer. You know what I mean? To have been able to make a room for Ozil. But then again, make a room for, is he going to play then? You know what I mean? It's pointless we make a room in the 25-man squad, but he's never going to make the matchday squad because of the ball. I mean, also offering to pay the mascot salary. I mean, that's not going to sit well with the board. So you've got three issues. You've got the mascot salary, you've got the China thing, you've got the pay cut. You know what I mean? So, and Arteta, I mean, we know he's the coach, but we know he doesn't call all the shots. You know what I mean?
True, yeah. True.
So he's just frozen himself out completely.
Yeah. Fabo, what do you have to say? I know you're itching. We've had you on the bench now for the whole half an hour already.
Yeah, I feel like Ozil actually really wanted to play, but being sacrificed here on the sidelines.
What have you made of what Sudz and Ashraf have said? How do you feel about that? I think it's all valid points, honestly.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what all of the gents are saying. Just further along as to what Ashraf said with regards to the whole China issue. Exactly, like the whole Chinese market is like a massive thing. What was our little Chinese guy and never played for us, but we still bought him?
Takuma Sano. Is it that?
No, Takuma Asano.
Yes. We literally
Yeah,
signed
Stock
this
played for
guy.
us. He scored against Bolton. It was Takuma.
Yes, we
Taku.
signed him just so we could tap into that Asian market. The same with Park as well. We literally signed these players just so we could tap into the Asian market. That's all we literally did for these guys. Then, obviously, now with the whole Ozil thing and the whole Arsenal back room all saying no, we're doing nothing about this. We are not affiliated with Ozil. So for the club, they just lost hundreds of millions of euros, all because of this Ozil statement. This is actually backs them. But then a few months later, we are quick to say Black Lives Matter. We are part of this. Then a few weeks later after that, you guys are all chirping along saying, no, what is happening in China is wrong. When Ozil started this way back then already. Now it comes out when after the whole entire exclusion part, I saw a little pop-up from Arsenal.com. Arsenal is happy to announce that you're back in the Chinese market again. Conveniently after they just dropped the Ozil, the Chinese market becomes available again all of a sudden. Now Arsenal is now back there on the pro clubs and everything. Conveniently. So this whole entire thing is like even like what Ateta said in a media article.
I was about to ask you
The
about what
way
about Oteta? Oteta came out yesterday and said he takes it all upon him.
he's talking nonsense, man. That is literally just corporate talk just to take you away from what's actually happening. He knows what was happening. Arteta, like Ashraf also said, I'm gonna build a team around Ozil again because this is the most creative player we have. But then we mess around with a Xhaka and Al Nini that just believes in passing like crabs the whole time. Then like a Willock also who's still young. Yes, there's potential, but there's been so many games I've seen hardly anything out of Willock. There's times I even forget he's even on the field. Like they say, salt in a pot is just there to make the team full. But you leave Ozil and say, no, look here, go play in your switch rather. You're not gonna make the squad. Why? Why you guys make that so personal? You're quick to milk him for every single thing that he done. Like nothing against the Aubameyang, well and true. I'm happy that he signed for Arsenal and everything. But people are quick to jump at and say that yes, Aubameyang is selling his whole future for Arsenal. What did Ozil then do for 8 years for Arsenal? When we were at our worst, Ozil decided, I'm gonna come to you guys. A small little chat with Wenger, and nope, and that's all I needed to know. I'm signing here and everything. But this is how we treated him after 8 years of loyalty to the club. Man gave up every single thing to make sure he can sign at Arsenal. Again, I still think that a lot of our decisions and mindset about Ozil, it's a lot also media driven. People say that, yeah, but he doesn't track back, but he doesn't do this, but he doesn't do that. But if you look at what's this app called now? Squawker,
Squawker, yeah.
where they detail every little stat of you. There was a time where Ozil did one of the most amount of running in the whole entire team for 2 straight months. But people are saying no, he's lazy, he's this, he's that. But again, like I said, it's media driven. Ozil's the type of player that's not supposed to be running every 90 minutes. Look how Mourinho used him so well at Madrid. Mourinho said, okay, for you, you run 70 minutes straight. I know what you're going to do, 70 minutes straight. After that, you've done your job, come off the field. You did what you were supposed to do. But yeah, in the Premier League, they're telling us, no, you must run back. You must go there. Then the minute you get the ball there, now you must run forward. Go pass the ball now forward. Why did you pass the ball forward? You must run back again. Those formations and plays did not suit Ozil at the time also. The players around him didn't suit him. The only real glimpse we got out of him again was when him and Sanchez were linking together. Those two could read each other's mind. They were like just like this the whole time. Then the split happened. We saw Sanchez go one side, Ozil stayed in everything.
Mm.
Then after that, it all kind of started going down and down and down and down. But again, the media hammered him non-stop because he's on 350 a week, so they expect him to perform every single week. The minute his boot touches the grass, they expect him to really have an assist already done. That goes with Pogba as well. It's the exact same thing with Pogba at United. Because of my price tag, I expect him to perform every single week. Push the brainer now on a $500,000 a week. And if the brainer does one small mistake, they're going to slate him and ask why is he earning so much. People's really going on about Aubameyang, who's now his new bumper salary, and win all these games without scoring. And now people really comparing him to the Ozil thing of he just did enough to get a new bumper contract. Now he's gonna start slacking off. Again, like I said, media influence. But this is my
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play devil's advocate now. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this side again, and I'm gonna ask: when Ozil was in the side, even after the China comments came out, even after Sudz, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't those comments come out in January, December?
I can't recall the exact month, man. I don't know whether Fabo and Ashraf know. I don't want to speak.
I know it was like
more or
just
less, more or less.
Yeah, more or less there around.
Around the beginning of the year. Okay.
More or less, let's say more or less, he played 10, 11 games. How many goals and how many assists did he have in that time?
I haven't
two.
checked the stats.
Not much.
Not
Yeah,
much.
Probably 2. Okay, so, and again, like I'm saying, I hear you guys, but I have to play devil's advocate on this side again.
Mhm.
I'm going to ask the question, is Saka creative? Yes. Is Caballos creative? Yes. To some extent, Willian is creative. He showed that in one game. Pepe is creative. So there are players that can fall in that creative duty again, if I'm making sense. Why is it that he can't dust down, knuckle down, and suit the Arteta system to work? I mean, it worked for Mustafi. It worked for Xhaka. It worked for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, even players that we thought were out of the team. But they came back, they knuckled down and worked for Arteta. And finally, I'll give a shit example, but I think at the narrative run, David Beckham in 98 got sent off for England in the World Cup. He was the most hated human being. And what he did the next year, he knuckled down and he carried United to the treble. I know obviously David Beckham plays on the right and whatever, the different kind of players. But why isn't Ozil himself thinking that he can knuckle down and let me just try something different?
Can I ask
And
this, Kataya?
Sudz, Ashraf, Fabo, you guys.
Okay, can I ask this, no? Under Arteta's current formation, the more favored one, the 5-2-3 formation, does Ozil suit that formation? A player
No.
like him,
Yeah.
exactly.
Where's he gonna
so
play?
you are saying, yeah, he's gonna be wasted again. It's the same as saying let Oba go out wide, but he has to knuckle down because it's Arteta's system. He hasn't scored in 4 games today. It was his first game where he actually scored. When it's a tap in, just remember that. But you say you must knuckle down, play Arteta's system, believe in Arteta's system. Oba almost got wasted in that system. Now you want Ozil to come into the same thing again, and you expect him to do the exact same thing, play in a formation that does not at all suit his football. Look at City. Put
But
the brainer in a similar formation.
Maitland-Niles is the midfielder and he has to slot. Sorry. Maitland-Niles is the midfielder and he has to slot into left back and right back at times. So how?
Yeah, yes, he has to go
I'm
out
just playing
wide.
devil's advocate.
No, I get you, yes, but he has to go out wide. It suits him. It suits his play. But we know that formation does not suit Ozil's play. Even before this 5-2-3 formation, Maitland-Niles could play out wide because he was a versatile player. It's the same as saying David Luiz. David Luiz was a centre back. He was a right back. He was once upon a time a defensive midfielder and came back as a centre back. This is positions in him he can actually adapt to. Ozil is not that person. You can't expect, for example, like saying, let's have who's now? I was not gonna use now. Um, let's have Gareth Bale, for example, now, and tell Gareth Bale, who used to be a right back, I'm sorry, a left back, and tell him, no, look here, play centre back rather for us. It's not gonna work because it's not their style of play.
I know what you're saying again. Suds, I'm of the opinion again, Suds. I know you're looking here and just thinking, when am I coming in? But Suds, I know what Papa's saying. It's not his style of play. I think we can all agree Ozil is a luxury player, but don't you think at this time, our current situation, we cannot allow luxury players at this time? We don't have 6 or 7 players to carry Ozil in that sense, if I'm making sense, or what? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. We can't have any passengers in the side, but I also want to touch on what Faba said now, where, if Arteta knows that these are the Ozil's strengths and these are his weaknesses, and if the strengths outweigh the weaknesses in his opinion, surely he should build the team or play a system which gets the best out of the player, the current formation, obviously, Ozil is not going to fit into that formation. But,
Not
Arteta
going
is at
to. I
liberty.
agree with it.
Yeah,
I agree with it 100%.
Arteta is at liberty to try a system where you can get the best out of him, I think that, before Mourinho became the Spurs manager, when he was doing commentary for, I think, was it BT Sport or Sky Sports? One of the...
Yeah, PT Sports.
Yeah, he was a pundit there for a short while. And they asked him, I think he was analyzing, doing the post-match analysis of an Arsenal game. I think this was pre-lockdown, and I think Ozil played the game. And
I think it was a City game, so I know what you're talking about. I think it was a City game.
Yeah, and then somebody asked him, but why doesn't Ozil? I mean, he's a senior player. He's on 350 a week. Why doesn't he grab the game by the scruff of the neck and lead the team and everything? And Mourinho said straight, look, he's not that kind of player. He's not a Ronaldo. He's not a Messi who's going to single-handedly just demolish the opposition, And then Mourinho highlighted what his strengths are and said that, to get the best out of him, you need to have A, B, and C around him, And as Fama quite rightly pointed out, I mean, we've got Partey now, For so long, we were searching for a defensive midfielder. We thought Xhaka was going to be the answer. That wasn't the case, So I still believe that, in the right system, he could be an asset for us, But I hear what you're saying, Dev, and in certain circumstances, the criticism against him is warranted. But I think that to single-handedly, I mean, the thing is, when Ozil was in the team, if we suffered a heavy defeat or if we lost away to one of the big six, it was always his fault, Even though every other
but we always have a scapegoat again. Arsenal always have a scapegoat.
Exactly, and he was always the scapegoat. And the thing is that the fans bite onto what the media feeds them, The media will say, "Oh, Ozil had." There'll be a headline: "Ozil had a shocker." Now, 100,000 Arsenal fans will read that, and subconsciously now they're thinking, "Okay, no, he's shit," because the media are saying he's shit. Instead of being objective, taking 2 steps back and say, "Okay, well, fine. Look, I watched the game. Fine, he wasn't great, but I don't think he was that bad. And furthermore, I don't think he was the reason we lost the game, But some people don't think like that. They just latch on to whatever the media feed them, I mean, Faba, you agree with me on that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Like I said, the media influences like sheep, they just follow.
Yeah. Instead of taking 2 steps back and analyzing it themselves, Yeah, but look, I think that in the right system, with the right players around him, he could be an asset, And look, we've got Partey now, Somebody who might give him that freedom to to express himself on the pitch. You know,
I agree.
Just a comment, right? When Madrid sold him to us, Ronaldo was furious with the Madrid board for actually giving for actually selling him, because he didn't want Ozil to leave. He was furious. He said that that Ozil knew all his movements. You know, if Ozil got the ball, he was going to pass because he knew where Ronaldo was going to be. You know, they also had that kind of like telepathic connection. I mean, now you can say what you will, but I mean, for a player of Ronaldo's stature to say something like that, I mean, that's the ultimate compliment. You know?
Yeah.
If he was a footballer, why would Ronaldo say that? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, Truls, but again, my devil's advocate hat is gonna come out again, and I'm sorry, I really want to bring Ashraf into this, but again, how many years ago was that? Can you honestly see Ozil doing that again right now?
Yeah, no, I agree, Dev. I agree. He's not the player that he was 5-6 years ago. I agree, but I think for people to say that he's done is completely ridiculous. You know, I mean that if he's done at 32, then you might as well say Oba is done.
I'm sure you can add something. You will add more.
Yeah, you know, you can't. Then you might as well say Oba is done. You might as well say William is done. You know, and I mean you can't say the guy because the guy's 32 is shit. I mean, look how many footballers played at the highest level until their late 30s. Look at Robin. Look at Giggs. Look at Scholes. So many of them performed into their late 30s. So you can't say the guy is dead when he's 32. I mean, that's ridiculous. I agree that it depends on the individual. It depends on the individual, how motivated he is to play at the highest level. But you can't just paint everybody with the same brush and say, well, you know what, he's 32 years old, he's done.
The same brush.
Yeah.
No, 100%. 100%. Ashraf, like I said again, I've never seen a pod where I'm agreeing with everyone and agreeing with their points and whatever. He's been excluded from the Europa League squad. He's been excluded from the Premier League squad. He still will keep fighting for the team. Can you see him coming back, and how do you see him coming back into the team? Because all that's left for him right now is Carabao Cup and FA Cup. How do you see him fitting into our system? At some point, only January, maybe that's when it get redone. And what does he have to do?
Yeah, the thing is, I'm going to touch on what you asked now and some of the things the other guys said. When it comes to the media, it's the same media that was crying when he was in the team that he's not doing tracking back because he's not in Golo Kante. He's not supposed to do that. You have this players nowadays catching a lot of shit on in the penalty box. Look the other day against Liverpool, Rodrigo. Last night, Martial. I don't like strikers and defenders being in the box, especially from corners, because if we play back five, you've got 5 defenders, you've got 2 defensive midfielders, you've got your goalie. That's already 8 players. You want to tell me that 8 players, if they're doing their job correctly, can't handle 5 players from the opposition in the box? Ozil doesn't need to be there. He needs to be halfway between
on the halfway line,
so that when the ball comes out, he can spring and attack. You have Oba in front or Laka in front. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. So it's the same media that is complaining that he's not doing that. Now that he's not in the team, it's the same media who's pushing this agenda as well. And everybody falls for it. You know what I mean? That's the thing about the media. Then when it comes to formations, we can't be rigid to play the same 5 at the back formation against everybody. When you go to Fulham, who's going to play with 15 people at the back with
so many
5 defensive midfielders, you can't go play 5-3-2. Then you're going to have to try something else like a 4-2-3-2. You know what I mean? Or 4, like I wrote here, 4-3-1-2. So when you maybe have 4 at the back, you've got 3 in the mid, you've got Ozil in that one position, and then you've got your 2 strikers.
Why
Laka and Oba start a game or 2 games in front. You know what I mean? Like a 4-4-2 or 4-3-1-2 or something like that. Like we have to mix it up because especially against teams where we are the attacking force, where we have 70% position, that is where it shines through that we don't have the creativity. Because that formation, when we play against City or against Liverpool, then at 5 at the back suits us, you know what I mean? And we can spring the counter attack in it, and then it doesn't show so much. But when we're playing with the team sitting deep, then it shows. Then you need a different formation. And then also coming back to what Dave said about Devil's Advocate, I mentioned it earlier about the 25-player squad. Who are we going to drop? And if you look at the little bit of form that we have seen about from Ozil, I mean, does it warrant him being in the squad? And I mean, they tried to offload him now during the window, and that people weren't exactly knocking on the door. Okay, I know his salary plays a huge role in that, but I mean, for me, I still love him. I would love to see him still play for us. But if we're looking at going forward, I don't see him fitting into the team. To answer your question earlier. You know what I mean? I would love to see him go, even if it can be a Carabao Cup. Or
Me also.
FA Cup.
I'm in the same buzz actually, and that's why I'm overcritical of him because he's given me great moments. He's given me Ludogorets. He's given me Manchester United. He's given me performances against Chelsea. He's given me Liverpool. He's given me that thing. So my expectation of him is high and that type of thing.
Yeah. But then another thing. So what the other guys going forward? If we look at not 6 months, but Ozil gonna be there, is gonna be able to make a difference for us. That is something that we're also gonna have to think about. Or we're just thinking about the now.
Yeah.
True.
But
I think. Sorry, Sudz, go ahead.
Yeah. No, but my opinion, and I know Fabo agrees with me on this one as well, is that he's in the squad. You're paying him $350K a week. Play the guy. You're paying him to sit at home and play Fortnite. What? I mean, why? That makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you're paying the guy a wage. Make him work for his wage. I mean, you go to any employer. Nobody pays their employee to sit at home and do fuck all. I mean, that makes no sense.
That would be good.
Dream job, brother. Dream job, brother.
Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy. I mean, if you fine, nobody wanted him. You couldn't offload him. You've got him for this next 6 months, 7 months, or 8 months, I'd say. Play him, and then he leaves on a free. Look, they're not going to offer him a new deal. He's going to leave on a free.
Yeah.
So try and make the most of whatever ability he's got left. And as I said, he doesn't deserve to. Look, I'm an Ozil fan, but I'm not saying that he needs to start every game. All I'm saying is that you can use him selectively. There's going to be games where you're going to need a man of his talents. So
I mean, he could have played tonight. He could have played tonight.
Exactly. He could have played tonight even. He could have played tonight, definitely.
Yeah.
Perfect game for him to play tonight.
Exactly. And the thing is from maybe I read into it too much, but if you read what the other players say about him, he's quite a popular guy in the dressing room. A lot of the lighties look up to him, and even like the other senior guys like Oba, Laka, and all, they're very fond of this guy. So it's not like he's a bad apple in the dressing room or someone who's causing shit. Like I mean, when Alexis wanted to leave, I mean, everybody, the whole squad couldn't wait to see the back of him because of how much of shit he was causing over there.
Yes.
And the thing is that there was also that debate about maybe we should have given the 350K to Alexis, but the thing is he wanted to go. You could have given him £1 million a week.
500
taken it because he wanted to
he wanted to leave. Exactly.
He wanted to leave. No amount of money would have convinced him to stay at Arsenal. He wanted to go.
To stay,
so that was never an option. Or we should. There's a lot of fans will say we should have rather given the 350K to Alexis, but it wouldn't have made a difference because he didn't want to stay.
Cool. No, I hear you guys. I hear you. Chins, I know this is very unprofessional of me, but my laptop is about to die, so I'm gonna find my charger. But I want to leave you guys with a question before I come back again. I want to ask, what next for Mesut Ozil? Obviously, he's gonna stay here until next year, whatever. There'll be £350,000 available to a player, whichever. And obviously, there's some players that's gonna have to leave. There's your Mustafi, there's your Kolasinac, there's your Socrates or whatever. His departure. How do you think that slots into Uwa? Do you think we might at some point sign Uwa? How much of that, and how do you think we can reinvest? Because you must remember, we're still paying the price for Gazidis and Wenger's mishaps or whatever. So I don't know which one of you three are gonna go, but I need to get my charger now. I don't know, Ashraf, Fabo, Sudz, are you gonna take this one just while I get my charger quickly?
Whoever wants to take it. Fabo?
Anyone? Okay, I'll go for it.
Go for it, Fab.
Yeah, don't know the chance, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. So look, the only possible destination where I can honestly see Ozil going to is obviously going to be MLS. That's the only real possibility as to where he can still be playing at. Nowhere else is any club really gonna come anywhere close to it because we know he's pretty much banned in China now. He can forget about that Chinese league where they were gonna throw who knows how much money at him to come play there. In terms of the freeing up the funds, we've seen this time and time again where we release the players, the funds is all there, but we do not reinvest. I remember not too long ago, one of Arsenal's ex-owners, he's now, what's his name now? Who's now there by Everton. He said that Arsenal has one of the biggest war chests available. The only two players who we cannot afford was Ronaldo and Messi. But again, as the years have gone by, we have never ever like replaced important players. We haven't replaced our back line where we so desperately needed to get a proper centre back. Like this season for me personally, like I'm happy we got Partey. But I still felt like we should have broken bank for Upamecano. Man was a beast, man is a solid centre back. He's gonna give you a good couple of years. So even though we are gonna free up all the funds by getting rid of Ozil 350, Papastopoulos, who's now also not part of the 25-man squad, he's also gone now as well. So there's another. So I think Papa's now probably like 100,000, 110,000, if I'm not mistaken. Mustafi is there, needs to be sold off as well. So there's a lot of deadwood still laying in the Arsenal team. But again, the question is, are we going to replace? Is like, are we going to get our new signings we've been praying for? The thing with Arsenal is we say we are always 2 to 3 players away every single season of achieving getting somewhere, but we only sign one out of the three. Then we use some other excuse of the team can't afford it. How the fuck can't we afford it when we have the seventh richest owner as part of our team? It's been also proven that Kroenke, besides Pepe now, does not invest in the team. All that money goes to his NFL teams. So it's like we are just his cash cow. That's also one of the reasons why they don't want to sell his Arsenal shares. There were actual owners there who believed in the Arsenal philosophy of saying, okay, I'm actually going to buy all these players to get the teams where they want to be. I mean, look at Roman. Roman has just dropped money, money, money. But okay, yes, it's not working out for Lampard. But the thing is, Roman believes if you want something, if you want to achieve something, I will give you the money. Arsenal's the exact opposite. Arsenal tell you, I don't have the money, make a plan. Simple as that. Or you have your current squad, make it work with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my feel on it.
And you know, just touching on that, Fabai, Usmanov, who was the other majority shareholder with
Yes,
Kroenke.
Usmanov. There we go.
Yeah, before he sold off his shares, and I think he's bought shares in Everton now. I think, right?
Yes, he's at
Yeah.
Everton.
I remember watching an interview with him, and this guy, unlike Kroenke, Usmanov is an Arsenal fan, or was an
Yes.
Arsenal fan now, right? And in an interview, he said his ideology for Arsenal was to have two world-class players in every position, and Arsenal must be competing for major titles. That's what he wanted,
Yes.
And it's such a shame that he wasn't our majority shareholder, because I guarantee you, if he had more control
Vision. Yes.
financially, I think we wouldn't even be complaining the way we are now. Arsenal fans wouldn't be so bitter, because that man would have just pumped money into this club like you can't believe. And the funny thing is also, Usmanov is richer than Abramovich. Do you know that? If you look at the list of
The
richest
ranking.
billionaires, he's more wealthy than Abramovich. So who knows where we'd be? If that man was.
Sorry to break your word. I mean, you can see already what he's doing at Everton already.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah.
And I can tell you something, bro. I mean, usually, we've got quite a good record against Everton, and we've blown them away a few times these past few years. But, bro, this season
that's not going to happen this year.
They're going to be very difficult to beat this season. I'm telling you, home and away. Even when they come to the Emirates, where we've got a good record against them, they're going to give us a good game. I can't see us smashing 5 past them or something.
But as long as they've got Pickford in polls, there's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's hope.
I mean,
I want to jump on
somebody...
this comment. Yeah. Go ahead, Ash. Go ahead.
I was saying, if there's somebody that's worse than Leno, it's going to be Pickford. So in that game, something could happen.
I think it was a Kepa, bruv. He is horrible. I want to just jump on this comment of Szoboszlai. What do you guys think of him? I love him, actually. He scored a beautiful goal.
I personally haven't seen a lot of him, but I know, like, when I speak to Ash, I see Ash sent the comment over there. Ash raves about him.
He's brilliant.
Apparently he's a cheaper alternative to Aouar. I don't know how his stats compare to Aouar's stats, but apparently I think it's obvious that Aouar is first choice for Arteta. Arteta seems completely infatuated with this guy from what I've read, But I don't know. I don't know whether we're going to get him now, because, I mean, if this guy has a good season and we bid for him again, his price, his market value might shoot up. They might say, well, we don't want 50 million now, we want 80 million.
Yeah, you could say that way. It could go so high, where they wanted 80 million for him and highest price drop of 40 million. Let's hope it's the latter drop.
Where would Aouar play in the current formation?
I don't think Arteta wants to play 5 at the back, bro.
No, he doesn't want to. Ashraf, he doesn't want to. I mean, I think he wants to.
I don't think he wants to, bro.
Yeah.
But if you have to say
stability and that.
Yeah, but if you have to say, the 5 at the back has been getting Arteta more results.
For now. For now,
but even if we shift to 4 at the back, does he have the players again?
Exactly.
Every single time we've gone to 4 at the back, we have struggled. Doesn't matter what the small opposition is, we have struggled.
Exactly, which I'm saying, let's give the man time. Let's give him a couple of seasons. We can see what he wants to implement. Let's give him time to build these. For Liverpool, look at Liverpool. It took them 5 years to get where they are now. I'm not saying we're going to be like them, but let's have some sort of patience, because we can't keep changing managers year in, year out, or whatever. After Arteta, what's going to happen to us then? Who's going to come to us? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I also said in my previous part as well, I think that we created our own monster with regards to Arteta. Like we always said, Rome wasn't built in a day. But I think what happened also is that taste of silverware with Arteta has given all Arsenal fans that bigger hunger to want to win every single game. But the minute we lose, people slate Arteta. Where people even comparing him to Unai now, say no, Unai was much better compared to Arteta. Unai
Yeah.
didn't know what he was.
But
Unai knew what he was doing, but Arteta's just a headless chicken. Why is people praising
yeah.
Arteta when Unai's been getting much better results? And I'm like, this bra really got so much for Arsenal, but it's still not good enough for the fans.
Yeah. But if you
I
look
think
at the
you get.
five at the back formation, like against smaller teams, it's not working. We're not playing well
I
against. I
agree.
mean, we lost to Villa, we lost to Brighton, Sheffield United. We were poor. I mean, West Ham should have beaten us. You know what I mean? We had a good game against Fulham, who came up from. But five at the back against smaller teams. I mean, never have we. They just sit at the back. You know what I mean? And wait for us.
No,
So
I
five at the
agree.
back is not working against smaller teams. So then we can play four. I mean, why
Yeah.
can't you play four against West Ham or against Sheffield? Come on, man. Sheffield
But
United has a 38-year-old Bully Sharp who has to score one goal every 3 games. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to play five against him. Leicester's going to come out full
Exactly.
guns play. They're going to have no respect Saturday on the Emirates, bro. I mean, like, we go out there, bro, and take the game by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, no, at the end, I agree. We have to be the aggressors, against the smaller teams. Or even when we're
Exactly.
playing at
We
home.
have to.
Yeah, we can't be sitting back.
Especially
Exactly.
with the players that we have. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
If you have Willian, Pepe, Ober at full tilt playing with no shackles, bro. I mean, we've seen them when they do these things. I have failed to see it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Together, like trust it, man. Trust our attacking players for once.
Yeah, and that's
Especially
what
now
kind
with Partey.
Yeah.
Especially with Partey now there. Let's trust it. Let's trust it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sudz. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I said that's what kind of irks me about some of the fans as well, because, people were saying that Oba had a shit game against City and he had a shit game against Liverpool, but we were sitting so deep,
yes,
and they were not getting any service. So I mean, if you're not giving
you
the
are
ball to your
starved.
strikers, you're not giving the ball to your strikers. I mean, what do you want them to do? You're saying the guy had a shit game. He didn't touch the ball, but I mean, he's not getting any service. And why? Because we're sitting so deep, and we didn't have. And you could see the Liverpool game, right? The minute Ceballos came on, we started cutting them open. Because he was providing those passes, and I mean, Laka missed that golden opportunity to make it 2-2. But prior to that, when he had El Neni and Xhaka next to each other, I mean, there was no creativity there, and our front three weren't getting any service. So it's all well to say, fine, Oba had a shit game, but I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
Look at the game. Look at it in the context of the correct facts. I mean, if the
In the
guy's not
context
getting
of the game,
service,
yeah. None of our
if
fans were getting anything either way.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, like, how can a Leeds give Liverpool a bloody good game, bro? Aston Villa taking them by the throat. We've got better players, bro. If
Exactly.
we can we lost. Okay, we lost against Poole. We lost timidly against City. We might as well have thrown in the dices and just gone for it, bro. Because I mean, if you look at a team like Leeds and Villa, come on, man. If they can be brave enough to do that against a Pool,
Leicester, look
even
what
Leeds
Leicester did.
against City,
Yeah.
exactly. Why can't we, man? We can do it.
I think it's past experiences also, man, at these grounds. But at some point, we're gonna have to turn it around.
Exactly. At some point, we can have to.
It's great that you guys are asking these questions, because how do we line up now on the weekend against Leicester? Bear in mind they've lost their last 2 games.
They're there for the taking.
They're there for the taking. Okay, you know what? I'll
Are we
start
gonna
with you.
capitalize?
With us sitting back and being timid, we actually gonna make them reverse, bro. They're gonna come out. Just watch. They're gonna gain confidence with us being timid
Jamie
and
Vardy.
us being chilled. You know what I mean? Vardy's, you know how Vardy gets Madison if he plays Barnes and that. You know what I mean? But we should just start that game 10, 15 minutes hard, bro. You know what I mean? They lost their
Go for the
last two.
throats, yeah.
We show them that okay, you lost your last two, you deserve to lose three. You know what I mean? Not let them build into the game. I can see how this game is gonna unfold, bro. We might grab a 1-0 by halftime, and then Leicester, we sit back, and then we're just giving them that confidence, that lighties, Justin, and that coming from the back forward. You know what I mean? We should kill that game in the 10 or 15 minutes. I believe we can. If we just come out with a positive mindset.
Yeah, as long as we don't have a repeat of last season's game at the Emirates, because remember when we played them, we played well, but we missed so many fucking chances.
So
And I
many
remember,
chances.
and I
Of the
remember in
red
group,
We should
card.
have been like 4-0.
yeah, we should have been 4 or 5 up by halftime, you know. And I remember in the group, Faba said, all these misses are going to come back to bite us. And lo and behold, look what happened. You
And it
remember
really
you said
happened.
that, Faba?
We actually
Yeah.
hung on for that game at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should have actually lost that game.
Yeah.
I was
because
thinking. So,
But can I, James, can I ask you guys this? Sorry to break your word, né? Sorry to break your word, né?
Fine.
Since Arteta has come to Arsenal, né? Tell me a time where he was in the top 10 squads where came out all guns blazing. Or have you always been seeing the Arteta football of where he wants you to analyze the game? Give it 10, 15 minutes. 10, 15 minutes, just pass the ball around, just pass the ball around, pass the ball around. Then we do a whole big build up play and hopefully we'll get the goal out of it. When last have you seen this
Our play
Arsenal where
is too
10
slow.
minutes
The
time and
build up
say,
is too slow.
in 10 minutes time, okay, boys, we're going to score now in the next 10 minutes. Do it. Go all out. Or he's going to
I
say,
would
fast,
say, sorry, I would say against Chelsea at home, we came out guns blazing last year. We lost
Yeah,
2-1.
but remember that that's when Arteta just took over.
Are you talking this season?
That came in this season as well. We
Then
haven't
I'll say
had
the
any.
United game. United, we came out guns blazing and won the game then. But I know what you mean. It's too far in between. If that's
Yes.
what you.
Yeah, it's something like look like exactly like Ashraf said. Like Leeds went all out non-stop attack. We should have been doing the exact same thing against the cities and the pools. But we are too afraid. I mean, okay, put it like this, nah? In your history, we always know, no matter what bad form United is in, they could have gone on a 10-game losing streak. The minute they see that Arsenal fixture, we could be being literally 15, 20 games in a row, winning every single team at least 4-5-0. But the minute that United and Arsenal game comes, our whole team at Trafford, that team just switches off. Why? Because we sit
I
back
know
and we
what
allow
you mean.
United to play them.
I hear you. But again, I'm gonna come back to Ronald's comment here. As a manager, you need to trust and have confidence in your players. Do you honestly think Arteta trusts these players? How many of these players does he really trust? Is the season? Honestly, any one of us four can tell me how many of these players does he honestly trust? Is this his squad?
I
Now
don't
look,
think so.
probably only half.
You see?
Yeah. That's why he's playing 5 at the back, Dev. That's why.
Exactly. That's why he's playing 5 at the back.
You remember when City came to the Emirates last season, and I think they smacked us 3-0, and they were 3 up after 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah, Arteta was sitting in the City dugout there, so he knew how bad our defense was. He was sitting there in the dugout. He saw with his own eyes how bad our defense was. So I think the reason why he wants these guys to sit back is because he's trying to fix that. But by the same token, he's kind of blunted us in that we don't have that attacking prowess anymore. And look, whilst we've sorted out the defense now, we have to remember Arsenal have always been an attacking team.
Like Ronald saying here also.
That's always been our philosophy. So to answer the question, I don't think he trusts certain players, and I don't think that this is the squad that he wants. I think he's still. I still think we're another 2-3 years away from him having, if he lasts that long, by the way, from having the team that he wants. Because I mean, you can't tell me that like David Luiz is his ideal centre back partner for Gabriel.
Exactly, 100%, 100%, brother.
Yeah, and you can't tell me. I mean, you can't tell me there's not better players than El Neni and Xhaka and Bellerin and I understand that there might be a lot of sentiment attached to Hector because there's even guys joking and saying that no, Hector's his son. That's why he keeps on playing him. But
Spanish custom word, brother.
Yeah, but I mean, Dev, honestly, if we can get a better right back, then Bellerin must go. Honestly, because
Max Aarons, bro. Why aren't we all? Why weren't we all over Max Aarons at least?
Yeah. Because I mean, I personally, I liked Hector, but I think after his ACL injury, he hasn't looked the same. You see glimpses of that old Bellerin, but I just think
still inconsistent.
Yeah, he switches off. He switches off too much. If you look at the pool game, I think he was to blame for at least one of those goals. And I think also against City, I mean, Foden spun him too easily.
Didn't have to do much.
Yeah.
Majority of the attack came from the City, from Hector's side.
Yeah. So I think he switches off too easily. I think he's a lot better going forward than he is. He's not a defensively minded right back.
Then rather play Maitland-Niles there.
I'll play Maitland-Niles. Honestly, I'll play Maitland-Niles. But we can't. We are like. Sorry, go ahead.
When it comes to being like I understand. Okay, I can understand we were cautious against City and against Liverpool, but I mean, I can't understand being cautious against. I don't even know we played tonight. What was that? Rapid Vienna.
There we go.
Rapid Vienna, Sheffield United, West Ham at home. Somehow you have to, because in his mind, Arteta has got a plan of attacking play. You know what I mean? You have to test it. Where you're going to test it? You're going to test it against Rapid Vienna. You're going to test it against Sheffield United. You know what I mean? West Ham at home. I mean, okay, Spurs mucked it up. But I mean, look at the way Spurs started against West Ham. You know what I mean? But okay, they are Spurs, and I was glad that they mucked it up. But I mean, like a 16-minute blitz like that showed intent. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we need to show that intent, and for us to be able to have that game against Liverpool and against City and against Chelsea and United, that intent is going to have to start with the smaller teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it has to start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I think in recent memory, one of the games where I was just completely blown away by the football we played was the 15-16 season. When we played United at home at the Emirates, and I think in the first 20 minutes we just blew them off the park. The 3-0. And the only thing that pissed me off about that game is we should have scored about 6
or 7. We should have scored more. Yeah, we took our foot off the gas in that game.
Yeah, but I mean,
But again, how many years ago was it, Sudz?
Yeah, that was so many years ago. But just touching on what Ashraf is saying, that's what we need to be doing all the time. When we're playing at the Emirates, especially when we're playing at home, you don't give your opposition a chance to settle. You go for them.
Yes.
You go for them.
And coming down to the last 15 minutes, you don't sit back and let them come at you.
Exactly.
Yeah, grow into the game. We let teams grow into the game too much. You know what I mean? And a classical example was West Ham. We won 2-1, which was
we were lucky.
But we were lucky.
Scraped it.
That was It's almost like we are confidence builder for for these teams. I always feel like, I mean, if we're not 3-0 up, then I just feel we gotta hang on here. We hang on here, bro.
But that's the sad thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Deb. That's the sad thing because that's back in the day, the Invincibles era and stuff like that. we knew if we playing Leicester on a Sunday, we're gonna smack them. You know,
We're gonna
before a
smack
ball
them.
even
Yeah.
being kicked, we know we're gonna beat them. The sad state of affairs is that no matter who we playing on the weekend, we can't say confidently we're gonna beat them because we don't know what Arsenal is gonna turn up. You know, we don't
Yep.
know. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't sit here confidently and say that we're gonna smack Leicester on Sunday. I don't know that for a fact. You know, I'd be lying if I said that we're gonna beat them because we don't know what Arsenal is gonna turn up. You know, and
Oh.
it's just sad because, you know, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I want that arrogant swagger back. You know, I mean,
Me also.
look at all these fucking Liverpool supporters. You know, after being shit for so many years, these always just run their mouths now, bro. And I mean,
Chirpy.
my fro and our whole family are Liverpool supporters, so I get it all the time from them, bro. You
My
know,
brother-in-law is a Liverpool
I
fan.
fucking get it nonstop from them now, you know, and
Yeah.
I want that arrogant swagger back for Arsenal. I don't know about you guys, you know.
Yeah. But do you think
Fully
Arteta is
agree,
going to be
dude.
the one to bring it back to us? Do you
I'm
think?
hoping
Do you
so,
think
bro.
we?
I
Do you think
believe.
we
I
invest in
believe.
him 3 years?
Yes.
I'm
If he
hoping
has
so, bro.
if he has the board backing and they
Yeah.
actually give him what he wants, they actually give him the funds, then by all means, I'll fully agree with that.
Mm.
Like, I could put it like this: if the board backs him the way Chelsea's backing Lampard, there's literally
Mm.
no way we are not going to win at least 2 titles.
Mm.
I think he needs to be backed in the sense that we also need to be patient as fans to
Mm.
understand that there's gonna be bumps in the road, and he is currently learning on the job. If you
Mm.
had to
Mm.
ask out of the three managers between Solskjaer, Lampard, and Arteta, I take Arteta any day over the week because I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the other two managers are out of their depth.
Yeah. And
I don't know, guys. Do you guys want to touch on the Leicester game? We still have time.
Yeah? Are we going to go formation? What formation are we going to play for?
I was actually the reason why I brought Ashley's comments up. Actually, is Martinez, Leno, the whole three at the back thing. Fabo, how would you line up against Leicester?
Like I said, chances are we're going to go 5 at the back again. So we know it's going to be a combination of Leno, obviously, and Foles because that's the only senior keeper we have, honestly. We'll see Gabriel, and Gabriel's been on form. Like even
Mm.
today as well, he had an excellent game. I'm not gonna lie, he had an excellent game. Tierney
He's
will
been
also be in
consistent, I
there.
must say.
Say again, Kate?
Sorry, I think Gabby's been consistent. I must say, for a young lad, he's been
Yeah.
very,
He's
very consistent.
adapted well. He's adapted really well. Honestly, I have to agree with you. Like I said, so Tierney, Gabriel, and Chonsa will probably either play Luis in there most likely because I don't think Holding is gonna play.
No,
What
holding
happened with
is
Holding?
injury.
No, he's out for 3 weeks. Three,
Yeah,
4
he's
Oh,
weeks.
injured.
3 weeks, yeah. Then definitely David Luiz. For
Mm.
me personally, I'd rather go with Ainsley Maitland-Niles out wide there, but we know Hector's gonna come. The fact that he also assisted today as well, proves he's gonna start again the weekend. For me, I feel Ainsley is a better um, backline compared to Hector.
Mm.
So that's my defensive players over there. I don't know how you guys feel about the defense. Who would you guys change in there?
I agree with your
I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm
with your
quite happy. If
personality.
I had any inklings, I would have said something long time already. So I'm happy.
Mm.
Midfield?
But I think Partey needs to start. That's non-negotiable. I mean, I'll be pissed off
That's
if
the
he's
first name
rested.
on the team sheet.
I'll come back
Yeah.
to Ashley's comment here.
Hands down.
Miles and
Hands down.
miles ahead. You can see the difference. Turning in
Mm.
midfield, breaking out a transition, can pause, that type of thing.
Mm.
Yes, too.
So, okay, now I must ask what Kataya now. Na? Who do you partner up with?
Ceballos,
Ceballos, yeah.
I'd partner
definitely.
him up with Ceballos.
Okay.
Ceballos, yeah.
Now comes the big debate, really. Who's going to be the front three?
I say Pepe on the left, Oba up front, and Willian on the right. Laka can sit on the bench. He can come off the bench as like a super sub. Because it's frustrating seeing Oba on the left, and I think this is the game where Oba can make those runs,
Yes.
where we can hit them on the counter.
Sudz, no Saka? Or is Saka on the left in the defense?
Yeah, Saka's out wide.
Yeah, Saka's out wide, left wing back.
If we play Tierney on left wing back, who can we play? We can play Luis, Gabriel, and who in the three centre back positions.
I think we've only got
The only other person that Arteta plays there is only Kola.
Let's call Lasenek, and I'm not going to go back there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no,
It's a very dark area there. It's very dark.
Don't you feel, from what you've seen when he played in the Scottish Premier League and his potential, that he is actually the answer to left wing back?
I think so.
I think so.
I think so.
He would be our best left wing back. But then what three centre backs do we play? Gabriel, Luis, and
well, I think
Holding was the only other person, but obviously Holding was now injured. So there's really no one else that can slot there.
Yeah, because we're now sitting also most probably with how much 10 other injured centre backs.
Exactly.
And
that's why I'm bringing Ashley's point up, because what is happening with the whole Saliba thing, and I mean,
the whole loan situation.
Like, what is happening with this whole Saliba thing?
I don't think Piggy's going to play. I think that the fact that there actually was plans to put him out on loan already shows Arteta's intent. You know what I mean?
But bear in mind, he's a kid as well. No, you don't want to throw a kid in the firing line who just lost his mother as well. No, different country, all that.
Exactly, but I mean, he's at the end of the day, he's in the squad. He's training. He's there to play. I wouldn't put him into the Leicester game, but I mean, we've got League Cup and FA Cup and more Europa League games coming on. So play the light team, man. Play him. I would look at Wolves has played at Kilman. Crystal Palace has played Mitchell at the back. I mean, Aston Villa has Konza. Those lighties are coming through with flying colours, you know what I mean? And I mean, last year's Labour was all the hype. So that means that he has got the potential, but give him a chance. I can't see, I mean, if he's going to sit on the bench all season, then I'm going to be pissed, bro. Considering his build, his speed, I mean, the promise that he's shown, then we're just wasting, bro. Then we're wasting.
Yeah, true. No, but then if that's the case, then I will agree with Sudz's front three, actually. Oba, Willian, and Pepe. I will agree, but Oba must go through the middle then, in that case.
We can't have another City moment where William plays as a false nine.
No, that was ridiculous, man. Yeah, that was crazy.
Are we happy with that? Are we all happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Prediction time. Let's end it with a prediction time. Sudz, I'll start with you. We haven't had the best record against them, eh?
Yeah. I think we'll nick it. I think it'll be a close game. I think they'll look. I don't think Leicester are going to be pushovers, even though they've lost their last two games. I think they'll be up for it, And apparently, Vardy is going to be fit for Sunday. He missed the last two games with an injury. So he's going to be fit. And
aren't you the bearer of good news tonight to me? Eh?
and you know how that fucker likes scoring against us as well. Yeah. So I'll say we'll nick it. I'm going to say 2-1 to us. My goal scorers will be Pepe and Oba.
The big thing hinges on if Vardy is fit. That is the main thing. He's the talisman for the team. He drives them. He motivates them. If he's fit, I can just see us nicking it or draw. If he's not fit, then I'll go 2-0 to Arsenal. If Vardy's playing, I'll still go 2-1 to Arsenal. with a small possibility of a draw.
Damn it, yo. I don't know if you're on the fence, off the fence. Where are you? Decide, man. Damn.
if Vardy is playing 2-1, if Vardy is not playing 2-0.
Okay, fair enough. Fabo, Khataya, talk to me.
Yeah, it's tough, really. I'm probably thinking more like a 3-2 or 3-1 type of game for us.
Damn.
Like I said, Partey is a big difference maker. I think a lot's gonna come out of him. For me, goal scores, I can see Laka on the score sheet. I wouldn't be surprised if I see like a Caballos also even on the score sheet or even on assist wise. Third goal probably like a surprise goal for me. Probably something you would never expect to see scoring, like David Luiz or
I was
someone.
thinking that.
Yeah, like
You
it's
scored tonight,
a lot of
dude,
those.
right? Right to Krusty the Clown, eh?
Yeah, it's like one of that surprise
Nice.
goals we're gonna get out of them. But obviously now for Leicester, I can see probably a Madison or a Vardy on the score sheet against us. Leno again catching on nonsense. But yeah, I can see one of those type of games.
Ish. Wow.
It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna go with Ashes one. Man, I'm gonna go with a 2-0 Arsenal. I think we at home, and come on now, we haven't lost to them at home in a while. We drew last year, but before that, we turned on the style with Mesut Ozil football with the back heels and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go with a 2-0, and I hope we'll have a
Monday
good
night.
discussion.
That was a Monday night.
It was a Monday night. You remember Monday
Monday
night
night
when
classic.
Ozil turned on the style involving all 3
Beautiful.
goals. So I think it's fitting. I think it's fitting, man. Because we all talking about Ozil, so it's just fitting. Somebody's gonna light it up. But yeah, gents, we come to the end. I can't believe we're going for an hour and 40 minutes. Sudz, I don't know how your wife feels about me, but I'm sure she hates me right now.
The kids
I
are
don't
fast.
know how you. I don't know how Michelle feels about me, but she probably is sick of the sight of me. Aaron wants to kill me, probably.
Michelle is sleeping there.
But Vince, I want to thank you guys again for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's always good chatting to you guys. Like they say, time flies when you're having fun. We have like how many people? Seven people commenting. Like the thing, subscribe to the thing, and hopefully, I want to have this Arsenal podcast more often with the real G's. We can talk, have a healthy debate, and that type of thing. So yeah, whenever you guys are free, hit me up. But yeah, that's it, guys. We out of here.
Sure,
Up the
thanks, Jeff.
Arsenal.
Sure thing, boys.
Cheers, guys.
Sure.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.